reaches 480 feet tall, and for about 4,000 years, it is the tallest man-made structure on the planet.
This discovery, in my opinion, is the most important discovery on the 21st century.
From the famed Book of the Dead to the mysterious tomb of an unidentified queen, these astounding archaeological discoveries in Egypt continue to amaze us. Join us as we explore 15 discoveries in this ancient land that have shocked the world. Number 15. The Labyrinth of HAWARA. Welcome to the mysterious and awe-inspiring world of ancient Egypt. In the middle of the desert lies a structure that has long been shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The Pyramid of HAWARA, built by the pharaoh Amenemhat III of the 12th dynasty. This pyramid is unlike any other in Egypt, known as the Black Pyramid due to its raw, gritty exterior made of brick and stones coated with limestone. But the most exciting part of this archaeological site lies beneath the sands surrounding the pyramid, the Labyrinth of HAWARA. According to ancient historians like Herodotus, this underground complex contained countless rooms and chambers. Long considered a myth, the labyrinth was finally discovered by archaeologists in 2008 after remaining hidden for thousands of years. Legend says it has as many as 3,000 rooms across multiple levels, with some accounts describing it as even more impressive than the pyramids themselves. This discovery confirms that the tales of the labyrinth were not fanciful myths, but based on an actual structure of unmatched sophistication. The ancient texts describe the labyrinth as containing 12 grand courts, each with gates facing each other in a complex maze-like arrangement. The courts further contained two kinds of chambers, one set above ground and another below. While the upper chambers have been located, the subterranean ones remain an impenetrable enigma. Attempts to map and reconstruct the labyrinth based on textual accounts have proven exceedingly difficult, leaving its true form still unknown. What secrets could these buried chambers contain? Some theories suggest the labyrinth could hold records of lost civilizations predating even the ancient Egyptians who built it. Others believe it was designed as a representation of the underworld through which deceased pharaohs took their journey. The answers may never be known unless more of the hidden complex can be safely excavated. For now, the labyrinth continues to captivate imaginations, a tantalizing glimpse of the mysteries still buried beneath Egypt's sands. Number 14. The ancient meteorite jewelry. Apart from tombs and temples, ancient Egypt also revealed wonders falling from the heavens. In 1911, archaeologists near the Giza necropolis made a chance discovery: exquisite jewelry beads crafted from meteorites thousands of years ago. These extraterrestrial gemstones date back an astonishing 5,000 years, well before ironworking developed in Egypt. Yet somehow, ancient beadsmiths acquired iron from meteorites and shaped it into ornate necklaces, bracelets, and amulets. The iconic tube-shaped beads were originally unearthed at the Gerza Cemetery, 60 kilometers south of Cairo. Technical analysis proves their cosmic origins. The beads contain 10% nickel, an iron meteorite signature. They also display unique crystalline structures called Widmanstätten patterns, only found in meteoritic iron that cooled in asteroids over 4 billion years ago. The precious meteoric iron hints at why these beads were so highly valued. Ancient Egyptians believed these meteorites possessed magical healing powers due to their divine cosmic origins. The unique meteoric composition was believed to confer protective abilities and give the wearer vitality and strength. Archaeologists have also found evidence that early Egyptians collected smaller meteorite fragments for carved scarabs and good luck charms. The association of meteorites with the gods seems clear. Despite the rarity of meteoritic iron, these celestial gemstones became prized across all levels of ancient Egyptian society. Number 13. The Mystery of Saqqara. The Saqqara necropolis, south of Cairo, holds one of ancient Egypt's most puzzling monuments, the Serapeum, a vaulted stone complex containing 25 massive granite coffins. But the enormous boxes, weighing 70 tons each, were not built for human burials. According to ancient Greek historians, they housed the mummified sacred Apis bulls worshipped during pharaonic times. Yet significant clues suggest an even greater mystery still lurks within the Serapeum's shadows. Constructed during the 18th dynasty reign reign of Pharaoh Akhenaten around 1400 BCE, the Serapeum's galleries and sarcophagi are truly enormous in scale. The coffins are up to 3.3 long and 2.4 meters tall, larger than the sarcophagi of many pharaohs. If meant for bull burials, the boxes would have weighed over 6 times more than the bulls placed inside. Strangely, no bull mummies have ever been discovered at the Serapeum. In other dedicated cult bull sites like the Bucium at Armant, the mummies remain intact. Why are there no traces of the sacred Apis bulls? Did the Serapeum hold something entirely different? The great mystery surrounding the function of the Serapeum feeds speculation of more clandestine purposes. Some theorize it housed riches from Egypt's 18th dynasty or functioned as an initiation temple for mystery schools. But the mysteries of Saqqara necropolis extend beyond the Serapeum. Another enigma was discovered in the necropolis, a small, delicate wooden object carved to resemble a bird in flight, famously called the Saqqara bird. With its aerodynamic shape and precisely carved details, the Saqqara bird is a tantalizing artifact. The model has physical characteristics not found on birds, but rather features found on modern airplanes. If we closely observe the Saqqara bird, its upright tail is unique. No bird has a vertical tail, yet modern airplanes do. The wings are set at a slight downward angle towards the wingtips, mimicking airplane wings. Since it lacks carved legs, unlike actual birds, it seems more representative of a non-bird-like form. The purpose and origins of this figure remain unknown, yet its existence continues to astound and inspire theories about the sophistication of ancient Egyptian engineering and science. Could this delicate wooden artifact really be evidence that ancient Egyptians possessed advanced aviation knowledge? The Saqqara bird continues to captivate and confound. Number 12. The discovery of 800 tombs. In 2018, archaeologists uncovered a sprawling ancient cemetery containing over 800 tombs near the Giza pyramids outside Cairo. Dating back 4,200 years, this vast burial complex contains fascinating glimpses into Egypt's Middle Kingdom era. The cemetery covers 37 acres between the pyramids of King Teti and Userkaf, who ruled Egypt's 6th dynasty around 2300 BCE. The site remained in use for 300 years, with generations of families burying their dead there. Tombs range from simple pits covered with stones to more elaborate multi-room structures with decorative facades. Some contain intricately engraved stone stelae marking burial locations. Many tomb layouts have intact causeways leading east to the Nile River, reflecting Egyptian beliefs about the afterlife journey. Subterranean shafts indicate where the mummified bodies were lowered into burial chambers below. Surrounding pits were crammed with thousands of clay jars, offerings to sustain the dead. The 800 tombs provide remarkable insights into Egyptian culture and afterlife preparations during the Middle Kingdom period. This era between Egypt's Old and New Kingdoms was crucial, marking a cultural and economic revival known as the Middle Kingdom Renaissance. The scale of the cemetery highlights the stability and sophistication of Middle Kingdom Egypt. Archaeologists also discovered exotic grave goods like stone vases and figurines reflecting increased long-distance trade. Styles of clothing, pottery, and architecture all evolved distinctive forms during this prosperous time. The massive finds will enhance understanding of how Egyptian society transformed during the era between pyramids and pharaohs. Number 11. Book of the Dead. The ancient Egyptians produced an astounding array of funerary literature to guide souls on their journey to the afterlife. These texts contain mystical maps of the underworld, magical spells and incantations to overcome perilous obstacles, and instructions for navigating the realm of the dead. Among the most significant examples are the Book of Two Ways, the coffin texts, and the renowned Book of the Dead. The Book of Two Ways is the earliest known funerary text, dating back over 4,000 years to the First Intermediate Period. It depicts two mystical paths the soul could take to reach the underworld kingdom of Osiris, god of the dead. One path traveled by land across a treacherous landscape filled with fire lakes, demons, and knife-wielding enemies. The other follows the route of the sun god Ra, sailing through the Sky River on his nightly journey to rebirth at dawn. The later coffin texts expanded on the Book of Two Ways. These writings on the inner lids of coffins provided spells to aid deceased nobles on their perilous underworld voyage. The texts invoke gods and mythical locations, making the coffin itself a magical vessel able to fly up to the heavens. Thousands of unique spells have survived, revealing more intricacies about Egyptian concepts of the afterlife. But the most lavish and extensive funerary text is the Book of the Dead, which contains nearly 200 chapters of incantations, maps, and mystical knowledge. It describes Ra's passage through the 12 caverns of the underworld, corresponding to the 12 hours of nighttime. Deceased souls had to pass judgment in the Hall of the Two Truths, vowing they had committed no sins. The coveted reward was for their soul to dwell eternally in the Field of Reeds, an idealized version of one's earthly life. Number 10. The ring engraved with the god bees. Recent excavations at Egypt's ancient city of Amarna have unveiled a gleaming discovery that proves even ancient pharaohs knew how to have fun once in a while. Among other precious artifacts, archaeologists discovered a golden ring bearing the image of an unusual deity named. So who was this character that inspired gold jewelry dedicated in his honor? Bes was the ancient Egyptian god of humor, music, and revelry, often depicted as a dwarf with a playful spirit. As the god of fun, Bes brought a touch of lightheartedness to Egypt's elaborate religious iconography. The ring was discovered in the burial site of servants to the pharaoh Akhenaten, who built Amarna as his new capital in the 14th century BCE. Akhenaten is famous for trying to transform Egypt's polytheistic faith into worship of a single god, the sun deity Aten. But despite his attempts to change Egypt's religious landscape, this ring shows traces endured of Egypt's old gods like Bes. In a culture dominated by serious temples and elaborate rituals, Bes's appeal is understandable. His gnome-like appearance and lively antics injected humor into both daily life and religious ceremonies. As a protector deity, images of Bes guarded households from evil forces. Musicians and entertainers adopted him as their patron. Even ancient prostitutes wore crude Bes charms to prevent pregnancy. Clearly, Bes touched on many aspects of Egyptian society. The Amarna ring isn't the only artifact depicting Egypt's god of fun. Paintings and figurines of Bes have been found across Egypt, showing his enduring significance. Bes's diversity of roles highlights the complexities beneath the formal facade of ancient Egyptian civilization. Alongside grand temples and gold sarcophagi, even the pharaohs knew how to let loose once in a while. The next time you crack open a beer, toast the Egyptian god who loved a good party as much as anyone. Number 9. World's oldest industrial-scale brewery. Apart from tombs and pyramids, one of ancient Egypt's less glamorous innovations was pioneering beer brewing on an epic scale. At the burial complex in ABYDOS, archaeologists have uncovered a 5,000-year-old brewery that revolutionized beer production in the ancient world. Dating to around 3100 BCE, the massive brewery covers over 20,000 square meters, with 8 sections each containing 40 titanic vats. These huge vats were over 2.5 meters wide and used to heat a beer mash of grain and water. With a 300-liter capacity, each vat could brew enough beer to fill 50 modern cans. Operating on an industrial scale, this brewery could produce a mind-boggling 9,600 liters of beer at a time. That's nearly enough brew to provide 15,000 people with a six-pack each, the estimated population of ancient Abydos. Beer was a staple beverage and religious offering in ancient Egypt. Operating this mega brewery demonstrates Egypt's prosperity and abundance. Egyptian brewers pioneered novel techniques still used today, including combining different fermentable sources like fruit, grain, and honey to produce varied flavors. Highly organized rows of interconnected vats enabled Egyptians to brew beer on unprecedented scales. The size and sophistication of the Abydos brewery show how ancient Egyptians mastered mass production. Beer brewing was clearly both an art and science in ancient Egypt, as reflected in this huge brewing complex. Inscriptions found at Abydos contain the world's oldest written beer recipes, so while they may not have invented cold ones, Egyptians certainly perfected brewing beer back in the Bronze Age. Number 8. ABYDOS, Stargate of ancient Egypt. The ancient site of Abydos in southern Egypt has long intrigued archaeologists and historians. Known for its preserved temples and sacred significance, recent discoveries at Abydos suggest this holy city may have an even more mysterious past tied to otherworldly realms and interdimensional travel. At the heart of these astonishing theories lies the Osirion, a monumental temple complex dedicated to Osiris, the god of death and the underworld. The Osirion's design differs starkly from conventional Egyptian temples, containing features not seen elsewhere in Egypt. Its central hall features an unusual megalithic architecture with gigantic granite blocks weighing up to 100 tons, stacked at angles evoking the underworld. There are enigmatic carvings lining the temple's inner walls. These elaborate but baffling decorations have no identifiable parallels with traditional Egyptian hieroglyphs or artwork. Their unfamiliar symbols and mysterious messages provoke puzzlement and debate among Egyptologists. Some speculate these aberrant carvings encode knowledge of a portal linking ABYDOS to the realm of Osiris, a metaphysical underworld domain. In this view, the Osirion is essentially a device, using its megalithic chambers to focus energies and open an interdimensional doorway. The carvings serve as cryptic instructions on operating this ancient Stargate. Mainstream scholars remain skeptical, noting the lack of any archaeological evidence for physical gateways or wormholes. But others ask, could the temple carvings describe a spiritual technology for accessing higher planes of existence? The anomalies of the Osirion continue to provoke wonder and debate about what may really have transpired in this sacred temple complex millennia ago. Number 7. The Lost City of Aten. In the southern Egyptian city of Luxor lies an astounding archaeological discovery, the ancient city of Aten, also known as Egypt's Lost Golden City. Buried beneath the sands for over 3,000 years, this magnificent city dates back to the reign of Amenhotep III in the 14th century BCE. The city extends across over 300 acres and was unearthed in pristine condition. Its walls and rooms remain remarkably intact, as if frozen in time. Archaeologists have found bakeries, workshops, administrative districts, and even a residential area with houses lining tidy streets. Golden artifacts glint beneath the sand, including rings, amulets, and golden coins bearing the faces of pharaohs. But the real treasure is how this discovery offers an unprecedented glimpse into everyday life in ancient Egypt's golden age. Each artifact and structure unveil fascinating details about how people lived, worked, and expressed spirituality at the height of Egypt's power and wealth. The city was built as the grand imperial capital of Amenhotep III's empire. Its massive scale and luxury reflect Egypt's immense prosperity during his reign. Experts estimate the city could have housed thousands of people, including priests, officials, laborers, and craftsmen. The city continued to thrive under Amenhotep's successor, Akhenaten, who was the pharaoh Tutankhamun's father. The excavation has only just begun. Many buildings and artifacts remain buried beneath the sand. The site poses boundless opportunities to learn more about this pivotal era when Egypt ascended to imperial dominance. What other stunning objects lie hidden, waiting to see light again? As the lost Golden City yields her treasures, a magnificent chapter of history is resurrected in the sands of Egypt. Number 6. The Buried Skeleton Hands. In an ancient palace in the Egyptian city of Avaris, archaeologists have uncovered a gruesome find. 16 skeleton hands buried in 4 pits. But the creepiest part? All 16 hands are severed right hands. This bizarre discovery provides the first physical evidence of an ancient Egyptian punishment ritual. Ancient records describe how soldiers had to cut off an enemy's right hand and present it to the king in exchange for gold. Taking the right hand deprived enemies of strength and power in the afterlife. The 4 pits were found in a palace courtyard, strategically placed near a throne room. The 2 pits nearest the throne each contained a single hand, possibly representing the initial prisoners captured. The remaining 14 hands were buried in 2 larger pits in the courtyard, added as more enemies were defeated. Skeletal analysis indicates the hands belong to adult men in generally good health. Cut marks on the bones confirm the hands were severed while tissue was still attached, likely immediately after death in battle. A few fingers show evidence of ante-mortem trauma, hinting at the violence these men faced. Textual and artistic sources confirm the ancient tradition of severing enemies' right hands, but these are the first archaeological examples found. While the gruesome practice seems brutal by modern standards, it served the symbolic purpose of displaying power in ancient warfare. The discovery provides insights into the rituals and beliefs of Egyptian soldiers thousands of years ago. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Anubis was the jackal-headed ancient Egyptian god associated with mummification and the afterlife. Rather than being seen as sinister, like death deities in some mythologies, Anubis was viewed as a protective god by the Egyptian people. One of the most iconic Anubis statues was found guarding the tomb of Tutankhamun as part of the Anubis shrine. This intriguing photo depicts what appears to be an Anubis burial site. Look at the tiny human figures next to the grave. which provide a sense of scale. It makes us wonder, could Anubis, the god of mummification, have really existed in gigantic form to watch over the dead? While the origins of this image are unknown, it sparks the imagination about Egyptian myths. What are your theories about this image and the legends surrounding Anubis? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 5. The Rosetta Stone. In 1799, one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of all time emerged: the Rosetta Stone. This engraved stone slab was found by French soldiers renovating a fort near the town of El Rashid, known to the French as Rosetta. Little did these soldiers know they had stumbled upon an artifact that would unlock the secrets of the ancient world. The Rosetta Stone dates back to 196 BCE and contains the same text written in 2 languages, Egyptian and Greek. The Greek was readily understood, but the Egyptian was written in hieroglyphs, the meaning of which had been lost for over 1,000 years. By comparing the Greek and hieroglyphic versions of the text, scholars were finally able to decipher the mysterious hieroglyphic script. The text is a decree lauding 13-year-old Pharaoh Ptolemy V and establishing his right to rule as pharaoh. It was issued by a council of Egyptian priests shortly after Ptolemy's coronation. In the centuries after hieroglyphs fell out of use, numerous attempts to decipher them had failed. The Rosetta Stone provided the key to cracking the code, opening up centuries of ancient knowledge to modern understanding. The ability to read hieroglyphs revolutionized archaeology and Egyptology, unlocking the secrets of ancient papyri and temple walls across Egypt. It enabled modern scholarship about ancient Egypt to truly blossom after centuries of accumulated mysteries. The Rosetta Stone made it possible to finally read the words of pharaohs, priests, and scribes preserved across monuments and artifacts. Today, the Rosetta Stone sits proudly on display in the British Museum, where millions come to view this iconic object. However, as with many Egyptian artifacts in Europe, there are ongoing demands for them to be returned to their homeland. The stone has been the subject of intense debate over cultural ownership. But regardless of where it ends up, the Rosetta Stone will forever be remembered for its pivotal role in resurrecting the voices of ancient Egypt. Number 4. The geometric tunnel beneath TAPOSIRIS Magna. Beneath the windswept sands of Egypt's Abu Sir coast lies a monumental temple known as TAPOSIRIS Magna, the Great Tomb of Osiris. In this ancient place, archaeologists have discovered an architectural feat that has left them astonished: an enormous underground tunnel carved out of bedrock, stretching an incredible 1,300 meters in length. This precisely engineered passageway stands over 2 meters tall. To put that into perspective, it is longer than 10 football fields put together. This remarkable tunnel was discovered by archaeologist Kathleen Martinez of the University of Santo Domingo, who believes it may lead to the long-lost tomb of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. While that tantalizing possibility has yet to be proven, the tunnel itself is an incredible accomplishment of geometry and stonework. Precisely oriented on an east-west axis, the tunnel's straight lines and geometric perfection reveal the ancient Egyptians' sophisticated grasp of surveying and architecture. The smooth-walled passageway was carved out of solid sandstone, an extremely hard rock that makes the tunnel's scale even more impressive. The painstaking work required to excavate this mammoth passageway shows a level of determination that rivals the pyramids. While the original purpose of the tunnel remains uncertain, its alignment, depth, and location near the temple suggest a significant religious function. Tracing the tunnel to its endpoint may reveal whatever purpose it served. Perhaps it culminates in a hidden burial chamber, a sacred temple, or something never expected. The promise of unknown discoveries at its terminus is what spurs archaeologists onward. The TAPOSIRIS Magna tunnel has captured imaginations worldwide, but it is just one of many hidden mysteries still awaiting revelation beneath Egypt's sands. The ingenuity behind this ancient structure hints at what other marvels may surface through ongoing excavations. What other architectural feats and secrets will emerge to astonish us? The saga continues to unfold. Number 3. The tomb of Queen KHENTKAUS III. In the Abusir necropolis of ancient Egypt, archaeologists have uncovered the tomb of a mysterious queen previously lost to history, Queen KHENTKAUS III. Despite modern Egyptology's extensive records, KHENTKAUS's name cannot be found in any royal dynasty or succession. Her grandeur tomb suggests she was a woman of great power and importance, but almost no textual references to her survive. KHENTKAUS's tomb features ornate walls decorated with the queen's name and titles, including King's Wife and Mother of the King. This identifies her as the wife and mother of Pharaoh Neferefre, who ruled during Egypt's 5th dynasty around 2400 BCE. Surrounding chambers contained fine pottery, alabaster vessels, and exotic grave goods. The tomb's opulence indicates that KHENTKAUS must have played a prominent role. As a pharaoh's mother or wife, her social status would have granted significant influence. Her unprecedented anonymity is therefore even more surprising given her lavish burial place. Adding to the mystery is her shared name with 2 earlier queens of the 4th dynasty. Whether she deliberately assumed the dynastic name is unclear. It may represent an attempt to tie her to an illustrious royal lineage in the absence of any recorded family ties. For Queen KHENTKAUS III, only her name and tomb survive to tell her story, a fascinating blank canvas for Egyptologists. What dynasty did she come from before marrying into the 5th dynasty line? How did she avoid being documented despite her power and status? Her splendid tomb is the only gateway left to revealing who this enigmatic queen was. For now, she remains ancient Egypt's ghost queen, reminding us how much history still lies buried beneath the sands. Number 2. Electromagnetic properties of pyramid. The Great Pyramid of Giza has puzzled experts for centuries with its elaborate inner passages and mysterious purposes. But a groundbreaking discovery has now uncovered the pyramid's astounding electromagnetic properties, suggesting this ancient wonder could have served as an energy plant or power source. Experiments conducted by physicists from Germany and Russia revealed that the Great Pyramid concentrates electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers and beneath its base. This energy concentration occurs when radio waves are aimed at the pyramid at specific frequencies, essentially activating the pyramid. Researchers found that the pyramid's pyramidal shape enables it to focus electromagnetic waves within its hidden internal cavity. The pyramid can essentially capture these radio waves and accumulate the electromagnetic energy in concentrated spots, like pockets of denser energy. Some theories suggest ancient Egyptians harnessed this concentrated energy for power, since torchlight or fires lit within the pyramid could be sustained indefinitely. The inner king's chamber may have served as a concentrating device for this sacred energy. Electromagnetic fields were likely amplified by the granite within the chamber. Intriguingly, some believe that ancient sites worldwide, including Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, were linked by massive obelisks that may have enabled electromagnetic communication. Obelisks erected at architectural focal points, like near the Great Pyramid, could have been used to tune and optimize energy concentrations within the monuments. The notion that the ancients possessed advanced electromagnetic applications not understood today has captured the public imagination. While more research is needed, these discoveries give us a glimpse into the sophisticated science of the ancient Egyptians. The Great Pyramid's hidden properties show it may have served as a source of limitless, clean energy millennia ago. Number 1. Ancient walking whale fossils. When you hear the word whale, what usually comes to mind is a gigantic marine mammal at home in the ocean depths. However, a shocking paleontological find in Egypt's western desert reveals that 43 million years ago, ancestral whales inhabited land. In 2019, scientists announced the discovery of well-preserved fossils belonging to a previously unknown species of early quadrupedal whale. Dating to the Eocene epoch, these fossils represent some of the most complete remains of a primitive walking whale yet found. The newly discovered species was named Phiomesetus anubis, after the jackal-headed ancient Egyptian god Anubis associated with mummification and the afterlife. 4.5 meters long, Phiomesetus shared features of its ear and teeth in common with later whales. But unlike today's leviathans, Phiomesetus still retained functional legs, enabling it to walk on land. The fossil discoveries included a nearly complete skull, jawbone, vertebrae, and forelimbs. Analysis shows Phiomesetus could support its weight on land while retaining the ability to hear underwater, facilitating a semi-aquatic lifestyle. The fossils shed light on a pivotal early phase of cetacean evolution as whales transitioned from terrestrial to marine environments. Phiomesetus demonstrates that ancient whales hadn't yet made the full switch to ocean dwelling around 43 million years ago. Later, whales would evolve tail flukes for powerful aquatic propulsion, losing the ability to walk on land. But this remarkable find captures a snapshot of evolution in action, showing whale ancestors taking their first dip in Egypt's prehistoric Tethys Sea. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.